So it's the 31st of May 2018 and I've just finished my pond. As you can see here, you're looking at a pond planter which is 3 meters long, a few plants in there and a waterfall blade. This is the pool skimmer. We have a 4-inch bottom drain down there. A return jet and an overflow. The internal dimensions of the pond are 2.9 meters by 1.55 meters and it's 1.15 meters deep. It's about 4,500 litres or so, and with the filters it works out at over 5,000 litres, so well over 1,000 gallons, which is just above the minimum requirements to hold about 4 or 5 koi, I believe. So the water is just cycling at the moment. I've just finished the pipe work yesterday. The filter house is in a little bit of a mess. I'll show you the filter system that I have in place here. I have 4 200 litre barrels. I'll just call them tanks from here on in. You'll probably notice this cut pipe here. This is where I had a pump dry mounted, but because of problems that I had with leaks, I lost my patience and decided to block that off. And I submersed the pump. Now I'll dry mount it again at some other stage. I'll give it a couple of weeks and I'll get back to it. So just to run you through the filter system here again, excuse the mess. I've yet to tidy up and box in all of these pipes. So the 4-inch pipe runs underground and pops up here in the center side of the shed. The vertical stack terminates just here at the support beam where I can run an airline, or where I have run an airline. And there's my air pump. I'll be upgrading that at some stage, but it'll do the job for now. So when the water runs through the pipe here, due to space restriction, we had to run it horizontally along here, around the back of the support wall, through the support wall here on a 180 bend, and into the 4-inch follow valve. So this is open at the moment, running the water into tank number 1. Now, tank number 1 is a settling chamber. Any solids that come from the pond, fish waste or just general debris that falls into the ponds, that will settle at the bottom of that chamber, where I'll be able to drain it here using this valve, which runs out of the filter house and into a drain. The water is at the moment pumped directly from tank number 1, but eventually I will I'll tap another hole here and I'll dry mount the pump, and the water will run up into this pipe here, through this non-return valve and into my UV, which is currently blocked at the moment here. It's a 55 watt UV. Now I have 2 very, very small weeps here which I'll have to look at, but they're very minor. I'll get wood eventually. I'm just tired of looking after leaks over the past few days. I've had quite a few to resolve. This particular UV has 2 outlets. This one here on the right hand side, which is partially open here, runs directly out to the planter through 1.5-inch pipe. This one here on the left runs up and into tank number 2. Now, just to explain the basic setup here, guys. Tanks number 2, 3 and 4 are very, very similar in that when the water flows into tank number 2, it's full of K1 media, 50 litres, same as tank number 2, tank number 3 and tank number 4. Now the water flows through pipes inside the tanks. So from tank 2 we have a pipe that flows down here and then into tank number 3. Exactly the same for tank number 2, which is covered over at the moment. I have a pipe inside here running down and connects from 3 to 4. Now by accident they're also connected by waste. Each of these tanks has a waste tapped in from the back. So I'll just see if I can get a view around here of what's going on. I'm not sure I can. And just a view of the overflows if I can get it. So the waste is teed here between tanks 3 and 4, which runs down here where I can open this ball valve and again drain it out to the waste. Tanks 2, 3 and 4 also have overflows. You'll see the overflow here in the back. So if there is any overflow, which again are all connected, it'll find its way into this T-bend between tanks 2 and 3 and will flow down and back into tank number 1. Now this is all 1.5-inch pipe here, guys, except for the connections at the bottoms of tank 2, 3 and 4. And for the eagle-eyed viewers, yes, you are looking at a 2-inch pipe there connected to a 1-inch or 1.5-inch pipe. That's just a silicone in place. Because it's just an overflow and will rarely be used, it certainly won't be a leak problem. When the water reaches tank number 3 or tank number 4, it'll flow through this 2-inch pipe down and all the way out to the planter. So this is the main flow for the planter itself. Now you probably noticed a little earlier on, I also have an 1.5-inch ball valve down here. This was originally where I was going to run the skimmer, and I was going to run it directly into the tank, but research showed that it would be a better idea to have the skimmer on its own unit, on its own pump. So on this side of the shed I decided to connect the skimmer to its own pump. So the skimmer is just behind this wall, around at the spade level there. It runs down here into this pump and flows along here and back down into the ground under the pond and to the return jet. Now I'll have the option where I can open this valve here and that will run out into the planter. The first pump is a 10,000 litre per hour, and I have no idea what this pump is. I assume it's less than 10,000 litres per hour, but as it's just running the skimmer, it certainly shouldn't be a problem, and I'm definitely getting a good enough flow from that. So that's the filter house, guys. Again, a little bit of a mess, but I'll get to it. Today I plan on building the shelves and boxing in those pipes. This here is just an air line. I have an air stone running into tank number 4. Just get a little bit of movement in the K1 media. Now it is a little bit weak, the pump that I do have, so there's not much going on there at all. I also have a pump running an air line out into the pond itself, but again, because the pump is pretty weak, can't really see anything there at the moment. It's being overtaken by the waterfall, but there are a few bubbles flowing up through there. So that's my raised pond. Hope you like it, hope it helps. And of course, a little bit of a vegetable patch there, growing my peas and broccoli. Finally, this is an emergency drain. It's a 1.5 inch pipe. If I need to drain the pond quickly for any reason, I can turn that on, and I can also open that valve here, and I'll have 2 1.5 inch drains which will drain the pond in around 10 minutes or so, give or take. Okay, thanks for watching.